If you're a radio listener and you're like, show us, we're also streaming video at Infowars.com. But the guys did find the article. There it is, Cron.com. Mexican military flies over South Texas. Officials say U.S. has cleared flights in war on drug trafficking. Yeah, and then you can find the other articles where they're pulling triggers. Around 1,000 Mexican troops operate a week, according to the intel I got, in Texas alone. Remember when I told you they sent Mexican troops to Katrina? And people are like, well, that's just to help. It's to acclimate you. I've been to the urban warfare drills 10 years ago, 12 years ago, on footage where they have troops from over 10 different nations training to confiscate our guns and admitting it's in the U.S., and then the Marine Corps commander runs over and screams at me and threatens to have me arrested because I got it on tape. They wanted to lead me around in some staged deal and lie to me, but it didn't matter. I snuck around. When they kicked me out of that urban drill, I just sent in other people as reporters. I mean, we got the footage. It's called Police Day 2000. You're not going to stop us. Now, we had you on hold, Jim, or we were going to break, so they put you on mute, but they could hear you talking because they had you faded down, but you were in the studio. And I said, this is America. It's okay, Jim, for you to speak out about this. And you said, no, this isn't America, off air. You've got the floor for another minute. Tell folks specifically what they've got you training with the military, with these hundreds of large armored vehicles for.
Well, like I said, I'm in St. Louis, Missouri, Alex. I'll try to be quick. All we've been told through whispers, basically, in the locker room, is that in October, and it's pretty much locked in. I don't know if there's going to be another debate here in St. Louis like there was 4 years ago or what, but it's pretty much locked in that we're going to be basically the guards of the more affluent neighborhoods here in St. Louis. A lot of the lawyers and doctors and professors seem to, live in certain parts of St. Louis and the surrounding counties, and we've been basically patrolling and practicing all of the entries into certain neighborhoods to protect against militias, and that word has been used. Hold on, Alex. That word has been used, and there has been something said about. Well, I don't want to say too much more, but basically, Alex.
No, go ahead. You're trained. Listen, the criminal globalist collaborators live in certain areas. They know people have made lists. We haven't, but people have been making lists. The military, retired folks know who the enemy is. And yes, this is the plan, to go into a fortress mode when the globalists try to start World War III and then go after domestic groups. When the globalists start the Civil War and start trying to arrest people, then folks are going to be forced to fight, and they're not just going to wait in their houses, and they're not going to just go out and go after police and military. They're going to try to go after the people that run this because they're smart. Oh, that's what you're being told?
Yeah, that's basically it. And Alex, it's pretty much wide open here in St. Louis. But I haven't been involved in any drills with actual tanks. So I asked you earlier if you could upload that video. But real quick before you let me go, I know you got other callers. Alex Jones is real. All right? I know a lot of people out there on the internet are saying he's a shill, but he's real. You can go to YouTube right now and type in classic Alex Jones 2000, and you'll see video clips of this man from the 90s when he was in his early 20s speaking against the New World Order. And America, this country's dead, Alex. It's gone.
Oh, there he hung up. Listen, it doesn't mean it's going to happen, okay? It doesn't mean it's going to happen. But yes, the professors and people are actually the technicians that come up with all this. You go to a CFR meeting or any of it, you watch it on C-SPAN, they're the ones coming up with all the plans. And you've got the bankers and others, and you've got the elite in every city who you notice stay in one area. And there's other rich areas, but they always stay in one little area. That's because they run the COG plan for their area, and they plan on having the police protect them while they've got the police and military out trying to arrest us. Because they know the checkmate move. They know they're fighting a bunch of veterans. They know they're fighting former intelligence people. They know they're fighting people that understand how to resist an authoritarian, globalist, basically communist takeover. Okay? And again, communists aren't the little dirty commie running around the street. That's their front. The mega banks fund communism to wreck a country and take it over. Communism, fascism's, corporations controlling government. Communism ends up being the same thing. They claim it's two different things academically, but it's not. Carol Quigley in Tragedy and Hope, by the way. I always have these mental midgets send me emails and comments saying, oh, Alex, communism and fascism are diametrically opposed. Really? Head of Georgetown Political Science, Bill Clinton's mentor, official historian for the Bilderberg Group, and the CIA says they control communism and fascism and gives all the quotes on it. It's 1,400 pages. I don't know if you're going to read that or want to understand it, but they want authoritarianism, and they learn to give you a bunch of different flavors of it. I mean, it's kind of like there's 5, 6 different ways to cook a pork chop. It's still a pork chop. So, yeah, there's differences, but the meat and potatoes of it are not. Checkpoints, torture rooms, cameras, insiders controlling monopolies. All right, let's go back to your calls. Who's up next here? Let's talk to Robin in Tennessee. Are you a police officer or military?
No, I'm just a citizen.
Okay, real fast, because it's just police and military.
Okay, I'm from North Carolina. My husband was a concealed carry person, and he taught that. We had proven video that they have gone around to bunkers where they have put airplanes. And even old buildings, when you see a building that has a fence on it, if the barbed wire is leading out, it's to keep
No, ma'am, I hear you. I hear you. They have caches of drones, helicopters with knockout gas. Sunshine Project got that declassified in 2000. The Marine Corps threatened them and had it reclassified, but they didn't get it off the Google Wayback Machine. It's on Google Archive. And they've got helicopters strategically around every population center with opium knockout gases, which kill over 10% of the people when they use it. People have car wrecks, knock their heads, fires get started. But they've also got VX nerve gas. But now they've moved away from troops. Folks, I'm not just saying this. The NSA is pulling their hair out right now that I'm even talking about this. They've got VX nerve gas in drone-controlled helicopters. I can't believe I can get away with this. You know why? Because there's so much freedom still left. You've got these criminals that have taken over the central systems, but they've got to get the police and military to carry out the crimes for them. And they've got to put out an official story that everybody will follow to carry out the tyranny. That's why Jack Bauer tortured people, was to get you to accept kidnapping and torturing people. But it didn't sell. You understand? They've been selling you evil. Let's start a call and then come back to him after break. Let's talk to Andy in North Carolina, then Tim and Jason. Andy, you're on the air. Go ahead. Police or military?
So, I'm military, Marine Corps, going fast. 41 years old, been on the New World Order since Iran-Contra, wrote a A-plus paper in honors English about it. It's really scary, Alex. The Green Man, when they painted Jesus green, that's the Green Man of the Wicca religion. You need to get Jordan Maxwell on to talk about that. I saw remote control aircraft in 1991 in Nellis Air Force Base. I was in the Marine Corps Air Wing. Saw all that.
I tell you what, stay there. I'm going to come right back to you after break. He's talking about Rio de Janeiro, the big global government.
Yeah.
Well, but I mean, other listeners who didn't, they're like, green Jesus. In fact, no. We're going to go to break, and we're going to come right back to you, sir. Put him on hold, okay, guys?
Yes,
all right, we're going to go to break, and then we're going to come back. Yeah, at the big UN meeting, they put lights on Jesus to turn him green, and then said, he is your Lord and Savior, the green Jesus. I'm not kidding. Tomorrow, I'll be back on the radio, and undoubtedly, I'm going to have to open the phones up again for police and military. We're about to go back to talking about this. If you go to the Army Times, if you go to the Council on Foreign Relations website, they have all the top generals saying the UN runs our military, NATO runs it, Congress doesn't matter. They tell Congress that to their face. I've played those clips. It is Twilight Zone, but it's really happening. And, you know, when I made the joke about I can't believe I'm getting away with this, the issue is that once you commit to something, you just don't have fear about it. Even though I have the sweetest wife and children in the world, I love my life. I realize they could do, I mean, I've been physically attacked before. I get death threats, and I'm just committed. And I'm not living in fear, but I'm here on air going, yeah, the Marine Corps threatened the Sunshine Project about, you know, the fact that they were publishing declassified stuff about, you know, drones with knockout gas canisters on them for the people. And the Marine Corps threatened them and all this. And then I realized, wow, I'm here on air announcing all of this. I mean, it's real. Just like that police officer said, Alex Jones is real, folks. Yeah, I wish I wasn't real. I wish I wasn't real. I wish this wasn't true. I wish, because then I could just go about my business. You think I like risking my life? Let me tell you, this is real. And the spectacle of the fact that listen, we're on all these AM and FM stations. We're reaching millions of people. The average American is good. The average police officer is good. The average person in the military is wonderful. The average corporate person is good. It's a tiny group of psychological warfare globalists that have hijacked our government that give us false stories to give up our rights and liberties. They think you're so dumb. White House advisors, Shapiro and others, look it up, have published 4 different news articles and sent out fundraisers saying to their millionaire donors, give us money. Don't worry, Obama's still going to win. We might just have a new Oklahoma City or 9/11, and that'll make him popular. They are one Bible page from thin of just saying they did it, that they'll do more. That's how dumb they think you are. When you're unconscious, they win. When you just buy into the sports and the TV and the Madison Avenue, then you have no idea what's going on. That's why police and military are waking up so fast. Because they heard myself and countless others warn of this for decades, and now they're seeing it. They're going, wait a minute, this is exactly what we were told was going to happen. Of course. Look, if you sign on to this, folks, you're destroying our entire future. The globalists really hate America. They've used America to build their world government. They've used America to set up their police state. They've used our money, and they've given us the blame for all the bad things they've done in newspapers they own overseas. See, they're masters at having us do their dirty work, then we take the blame. They want re-education. 2 months ago, I'm sent an Army document of re-education camps. I check it, check the code numbers, check parts that are declassified in it for purchase orders, find out it's real, and then the Army comes out and says, yes, that's a real document, but it's not for distribution. It's marked restricted. You shouldn't have it. Look it up. The Army re-education camps. Let me just give the military a little newsflash, as if you need this, and police. The globalists plan on starting a civil war. They are asking you to run out into moving traffic. I don't look forward to the fact that the American people are going to open up on you, and believe me, they are. It's not cowardice of the American people that has kept them back this far. It's more restraint. And the globalists know that. They know the average patriot does not want to go fight the military and police, even though it's like shooting fish in a barrel. They're going to go after the globalist, and that's what that police officer was talking about. And I don't even want that to happen. This just needs to stop. The globalists need to back off, but they're not. They're going ahead with war with Syria using al-Qaeda proxies. They're going ahead with moving missiles in against Russia. They're crazy people. They get hubris-filled, like Hitler going into Russia, Napoleon, all of it, and the whole world's about to get really crazy. I hope we can stop them. Maybe we can. Let's go to Andy, Tim, and then Jay and Austin and others. I've got to get to the GMO story. I'm ranting. Andy, finish up your points about the drones you saw back in the 90s.
Yeah. They had it was in Nellis Air Force Base. They brought out this little thing. It was like a I don't know, remote control type deal. And it was they were remote control an F-15 aircraft. And I saw that, and that was in 1991. But real fast, I got beat up by the captain of police in Brunswick County, North Carolina, for filing a complaint after being pulled over. But it's always darkest before dawn. The light, we're going to win.
Hold on, they beat you up?
Try men's souls, man.
Hold on, they beat you up at the police station?
In front of the courthouse, man.
I know, I tell you, all over they're arresting people for filming police in public and then putting them in jail when there is no law.
I went down there to file a complaint after they rustled me around and illegally searched my car. Oh, it was a big old mess. And maybe I can call you on it. I know you're pressed.
No, I hear you, brother. I mean, a lot of police are good, but in some areas, they've just the system wants crazy thugs. And I tell